What's up, guys? Nick from the Average Biker Garage, back here with another episode of the Average Biker Podcast. And today is the first in our Wyld Stallions Builders series. I am currently interviewing all of the builders that are going to be building bikes for the Wyld Stallions motorcycle build competition. All that. And this is my first one with Mackenzie Godfrey, aka Mack Blank. Be sure to head over to Instagram and follow him at blank_metals with a Z. I'll have it linked down in the show notes too. And also be sure to follow the Wyld Stallions build and Thunder Roads of Michigan magazine. That way you can keep up to date with everything the builders are doing and everything that's going on with the competition. Well, without further ado, here's my interview with Mack Blank. Perfect. So, go ahead and start this off. Give me your name, age, and location.
My name is Mackenzie Godfrey. I'm 38 years old and I'm located in Fowlerville, Michigan.
Fowlerville?
Yep.
Where is that at in relation to Owasso?
Owasso is about 30 minutes northwest of me.
Oh, so you're kind of local then.
Yeah, so you know where 52 is that takes you into Owasso?
I don't. I've been there twice, once for the show and once for our meeting last year.
Basically, if you go, the exit that you would take to get off to go to Owasso on 96, if you just keep going past that towards Detroit, I'm the next exit.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty local to the Owasso area.
Sweet. Were you at the show last year?
I was not, no.
No.
Cool. I wanted to go, but I just didn't have time to go.
Oh, I get it. Time's hard to come by.
Oh, dude, it really is, especially married with a kid, full-time job, and then a hobby. Like, there's so much time left in the day to be able to do everything else you want.
Right. So, all right. Well, when did you get into motorcycles?
Motorcycles haven't always been a part of my life. Like, they've been a part of my adult life and even like my teenage years. But my one of my first memories of motorcycles is I'd be like, I think it was like 93. My oldest brother had a Katana. My very first memory of a motorcycle is him riding me on the back of his bike going down 7 Mile doing a wheelie. So, and years go by, not a ton of motorcycles. He went off into the Marine Corps, did his own thing for a while. And then early 2000s, the Great Biker Build-Off series came out. That's what drawed me back into it.
See, we're similar in age. I'm 37.
Right on.
So yeah, the biker build off, and then you talking about your older brother having a Katana. I remember my older brother wanting a Katana. Like, that was some shit that he talked about when we were younger.
Yeah. So that him and that bike are kind of what started it all. And then, like I said, the Great Biker Build Off came out, and there was so many amazing builders on there. And then there was also just as many towards the end of like, what are they doing? Like, what is this? This isn't the type of motorcycles I want to see built. So
right. And
on
that show too, I think a lot of them were just going with the fad of the time,
Yeah,
like
definitely towards the end of that series, you were getting a lot of those like pro street style bikes. You're getting into like the bigger wheel stuff, which was a fad for that time.
Yeah, like today, I feel like if they were to do that show, it would be nothing but big wheel baggers with 20 speakers and 32-inch front rim 32-inch front rims.
For the most part, those handle horribly.
I think they look like shit too, and it's my opinion.
I will give it that, like, I'm not a fan of them either by any means, but there is a solid probably 5% of them that are built really well, look really good, but they're still not a great handling bike because of the way that they're built.
I can respect the craftsmanship, the work that goes into them, but they still look like shit. Like,
Yeah.
I think Jesse James said, what is it? Lipstick on a pig is still a pig,
Yes, it is. Yeah, I've built a couple actually. So
you a couple big wheel baggers?
Yeah, so I'm a motorcycle mechanic by trade.
Oh, are you?
I am, yeah. So I actually work at a shop, Full Throttle Motorsports in Lansing, or not Lansing, in Dimondale. Earlier in my career, we had a customer. I was at a different shop. This was 2017. Had a customer come in and was like, I want a 32 on the front of my bike. Like, well, if you're going to do it right. So it was a 2017 Victory. And we wound up doing, I think it was a Ruthless Customs backbone. So it was a 3-up backbone, 2 out. And we put the 32 on it. It got air ride. It got more LED lights than I think I've ever put on anything in my career. So it lit up like the 4th of July.
That was the first one you built, or how many of those did you end up building?
That was the first one I built. The second one I built was far less extreme. It was a 26. They're both Victory Magnums. The second one was a 26 with a rake kit and then nothing else.
So what big wheel bagger are you building for the competition?
I'm not building a big wheel bagger. Okay, so we're gonna get that one out of there right now. I'm not a fan of them. I don't like riding them. I actually removed most of one of my big toes on one of those bikes because they're so top heavy at low speeds.
Really?
Yeah, they're not exactly fun to ride at low speeds. You get on the freeway and they're great. They go straight as an arrow, but low speed maneuverability is not great.
I'm glad to hear that you're not building a big wheel bagger for the show then.
I would never. I'm a vintage metric guy, so.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Let's
background, but that's my bike.
Yeah, I can't tell what it is.
It's an 84 Yamaha Virago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it's got so it's an XV1000, 750 cylinder heads. I have a 920 transmission in it, 1,000 cams, king queen seat, as you can see, set of like real narrow bars, just kind of like 70s chopper, but soft tail.
Yeah, that's awesome. I built a Shadow for last year's competition.
Yeah, the white and blue one was yours?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Yeah, that's a nice looking bike.
It was. It was fun to build. And another guy, Chris, he's from over in Goshen. I just found him on Facebook and asked him to sign up for the competition too. But he builds metric bikes too.
Nice.
So it's really cool. I'm glad to see metric bikes getting the love, and it's not just shovels and panheads and typical chopper shit.
I'm not a Harley guy by any means. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great Harley builds out there. There's a lot of great Harleys out there. There's just so many people building them that I don't ever feel the need to or want to build them.
Right. Well, that's kind of where I'm at too. And there's so many of the older like the KZ, 750, 950s, CB 750s, the
Yep.
Shadows are a great platform too. And all those bikes are out there and they're just stupid cheap. Like,
yeah.
And
there was a while where they started going up in price quite drastically, but they're starting to drop back down. Like the bike I got for the competition cost me $50.
Shit, that's awesome.
So,
I'm sure it's in pristine condition too, right?
Actually, aside from a very major issue with it, which I'm overlooking because I don't want the motor in it, it's actually in really good shape.
Really?
Yeah. Like I think there's one dent in the gas tank. Otherwise, the paint's pretty clean. All the chrome that came on it was really clean. Lights all worked. The seat had no tears in it. Like it was quite impressive of how good the bike was for how cheap the bike was.
Oh shit! So you just got lucky and found a deal, huh?
I did, yeah, and I actually bought it for just the gas tank for a different bike I was building, and then the whole build competition thing came up, and I was like, yeah, I'll throw my hat in on that one and see if I can build a bike for a competition.
Right.
So I just decided to use this bike, and it's just been sitting here for the last, I don't know, month and a half.
Huh. Sweet. We'll get into that here in a little bit about
Right
what
on.
you're going to build and all your builds. And I got my list of questions here, so I'm not like texting. I don't want you to think I'm being rude or anything.
Oh, you're good.
All right. So what was your first bike that you got then?
My first bike was a 1974 Honda CB360.
Really?
Yeah, and it was boxes of parts. There wasn't a whole lot bolted together on it anymore.
So what age were you when you got that? Like when were you a teenager or early 20s?
I'll say I was like 20,
Yeah. And were
maybe
you
22 at the most.
already a motorcycle mechanic at that point?
No, I'd never really worked on bikes at that point.
So just on a whim, wanting a bike, you bought a bike in boxes and
Pretty much, yeah. That was when Craigslist was a thing. So I just got on Craigslist and started searching. I found it and was like, I'd worked on cars at that point. I'd gone through automotive classes, went to school for automotive, and I was like, motorcycles can't be that much different. Turns out they are very much different. But having that mechanical ability already gave me the edge of being able to put it back together. So I just went to Rosenau Power Sports, got all the parts I needed to put it back together, got it back together, completely stock, hated it. Like the worst bike ever. I hated the suspension. So I took it out. I think I took it out on like a 1.5 mile test ride. And I got back home and was just like, all right, I have to change this. So I cut the whole seat frame off, made a like real budget hardtail for it. Seat, mounted the front fenders, the rear fender, and I rode it for a couple years.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can't imagine. What'd you say it was a 74?
74, yeah.
I can't imagine. Yeah, the suspension technology back then was, that great. So
I mean, for 74, it was probably pretty good, but at that point it was 40-year-old suspension, so wasn't comfortable. The seat wasn't comfortable. Like the seating position on it, I didn't really care for. Again, early 20s, so I was like, I want something rad.
right. So I totally understand that. So what is in your current stable of bikes? You said you got the Virago back there.
Yeah, so we got my Virago, which is an 84 XV1000. I have for the competition, I have it's an 85 XV700. I have 84 GL1200 Aspencade, and then a 78 GL1000.
Gold wings?
Yeah.
Really? You chopping those?
Oh, I love my gold wings.
I had a guy, I don't know if he found me on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, but he ended up emailing me, and God, I can't remember the year of it, but I think it was like a 76 Goldwing GL1000, and he had it chopped, and that thing was cool as shit. Like big radiator sticking out in the front of it, but he had fishtails, slanted fishtails. It was cool.
So my Aspencade bone stock. There's nothing done to it. It's got an upgraded radio, upgraded seat, but otherwise it's a bone stock Goldwing. The 78 I have it's kind of like a cafe style, so it's got a tail section. It's lowered. It's got a set of like it's more of like a street tracker meets cafe, so it's got like dirt bike style bars on it where you sit upright a little bit more.
Gotcha.
So it's a work in progress, and it's just sitting in the corner waiting for me.
Aren't they all?
Yeah, I also have an 83 GR650 Tempter.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
The 1 year only bike in the US from Suzuki. So they made it over in Europe, decided to bring it over here. It didn't sell well, so they just stopped bringing them over.
Huh.
It's a parallel twin 650.
That sounds interesting. I'll have to look those up.
Yeah, they're pretty cool little bikes.
So what is your favorite bike ever owned? Have you haven't ever owned a Harley?
I have not. No, I've never owned a Harley. If I was to ever own a Harley, it'd have to be like a flathead Harley.
Gotcha.
So, that's probably out of my reach right now. My favorite bike I've ever owned. It'd probably be either my current Virago that I have or my last CB360 I had.
How many bikes have you owned total?
I've owned a lot.
Too many to count?
It's probably in the neighborhood of like 50 to 60 at this point.
Holy cow.
Yeah, but like I'll buy a bike and fix it up and flip it and sell it. There's been points where I've owned like 10 or 12 bikes at a time as well.
Yeah, I know how that is. I got 6 in my garage right now. 5 are mine. So
what kind are they?
You what?
What kind of bikes?
I got my 18 Ultra. I got a 71 FLH, my 06 Shadow, the 07 V-Star. I got to sell that to buy a bike to build for the competition. And then I got a little KP Mini. It's Chinese Grom knockoff. It's a 150. Okay. Yeah. It looks like a little scooter with my big ass on it.
Hell yeah, those are so much fun though.
It's really neat. And then I got a 78 FXS it's my uncle's bike that I'm working on for him.
Nice.
Yeah. So garage full. I understand how that is and how easy it can happen.
Oh, it happens so easily. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't understand how bikes can populate so fast. And you're just like, what am I going to do with all of these now?
And then the pile of parts, takeoff parts, I've got. Yeah.
I've got bins and bins of parts from bikes I've built. Like, I think I've built like 3 or 4 Viragos now, so I have bins of just Virago parts. I've probably built 6 or 7 CB360s, so I have bins of that. I've got stuff from the Gold Wings I've built, all kinds of stuff.
You got an eBay store?
I don't. Well, I do. I don't really sell a whole lot on eBay. I kind of use it all for when I'm building bikes.
Yeah, I just started getting into the eBay store, trying to sell stuff on there, and I tried to Marketplace, and Marketplace is such a shit show trying to sell parts.
Yes, it used to be a lot better. It was the same thing with like Craigslist. When Craigslist was around, Craigslist was great, and then Facebook Marketplace came around, and it was really, really good for a long time, and then it just turned into like people want to bid on things, like they want to get the lowest price, and then they don't even show up.
Well, I have a list of parts there, and then people will, hey, do you have this? I'm like, is it on the list?
Yeah.
No, I don't have it, man. Like I've listed everything I got, and then okay, well, will you drive 50 miles out of your way for this $10 part, so I can only have to drive 5?
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't know. The people, they got bigger balls than I do, apparently.
Yeah, or less brains.
That too. So the point of this show, Derek wanted to have everybody do kind of like an introduction build and sync it up. Use it kind of as I don't know, last year we all had to write an introduction to ourselves, about ourselves for the magazine.
Right on.
So I'm assuming we're still going to have to do that too, but he wants to do these two to try and, get everything.
For publicity for it, so that people can get to check it out.
Right. So I'm going to jump to the build competition. How did you hear about it? I guess, being local, you probably heard about it last year.
No, I didn't even know about it last year.
Really?
I actually, so through Facebook. I'm part of a group. It's like 60s and 70s choppers.
Okay.
And Derek posted in there he's looking for builders. And I'm like, well, I already build bikes in my garage on my own out of pure boredom. Why not throw my hat in the ring for a build competition and actually get to go out and show people the stuff I build?
Right.
So I just sent him a message on Facebook and was like, hey, man, I want to be a part of this. And he's like, are you able to get to Owasso in August? I'm like, well, funny story. I live in Fowlerville. So, yeah, that's very attainable for me. That's how that worked out.
See, Derek, dude lives half an hour away from you, and he didn't even know about it last year. You're doing a shit job of getting the word out, man.
Right? You got to start promoting, man.
Derek
knew about the Owasso Vintage Bike Show. I had no idea that there was any sort of build competition going on around it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's cool, man. I know he's posted in a lot of groups. That's cool that you found it and that you're so close. Yeah,
when I saw where it was is when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring on this one.
I guess we got a guy from Missouri. I can't remember. I wasn't sure if that was you or not. But yeah, I guess there's a guy from Missouri. I thought I'm about 2.5 hours away. I thought that was a long drive for me last year. I can't imagine coming from Missouri.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun trip. Maybe he'll ride his bike up.
I was gonna ride mine last year, but no, Hardtail Shadow.
I'm definitely riding mine this year.
Well, I rode mine from the parking lot in, and I guess I think Terry's bike ran, but Derek's bike at the time didn't run, and Zach, his bike didn't run, and I don't know. Derek was talking about having a rule this year where you had to ride, and I guess there's a parade or just a cruise through town the night before.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, he was going to make it a rule where you had to cruise in that in order to be in the competition.
I mean, it makes sense. If you're going to build a bike, it may as well be functional.
Right. Yeah, if I had known that my bike was the only one that ran or one of the only ones that ran, I would have started it. But I had never been there before. So I was walking around looking at all the shit. I wasn't even next to my bike most of the day.
No, I have a feeling that's probably what I'll be doing when the show goes on. I'm going to be out checking out everyone else's cool bikes and looking at all the bikes and finding ones I want to find and buy.
It was really neat experience. I'm glad that we're doing it again this year.
Yeah, it should be fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
So, what all? I mean, you said that just being so close is what made you decide to sign up for it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's right in my backyard, so I figured why not see what I can do. And like I said, I already build bikes on a regular basis in my garage, and I just build them to flip and sell, just to make something cool so that somebody else can have a cool bike for a decent price.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's I've kind of started a little shop in my garage, and that's kind of the same idea that I'm going with, is just, I want to build cool bikes for people that can't necessarily do it for themselves.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, and like that first bike I got, the CB360, it sparked that want to build cool bikes, and I did for a while. I built bikes out of my garage full time. It was all vintage metric stuff. I had people, I'd post them for sale on Craigslist, and they would sell. The ad would be up still because I'm like getting ready to go delete it as the person who bought the bike is leaving, and I'd have someone message me like, "Hey man, is that bike still available?" And no, but I can build you one. So, I built them for a few years out of my garage, and it was fun.
Oh, yeah, that's a good marketing strategy. Just kind of leave the ad up for an extra week or two.
Right.
So have you ever entered any of your bikes in a competition before?
No, this will be a first for me.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I did try to get into a bike building competition. This would have been probably 6 or 7 years ago, there was someone trying to start like this grassroots style bike building competition. I entered in, they had picked me, and they had filmed some sort of pilot for it, and then they just didn't do anything else after that.
Really?
Yeah.
It was going to be like a TV show or like a YouTube show, or
I think it was supposed to be, if I remember correctly, it was going to be on YouTube.
okay.
So I don't remember the name of it, but like I said, I figured I'd throw my hat in the ring on that. That one didn't work out, so I just went on to being a mechanic and, having fun building bikes on my own.
Right. So what are you hoping to gain from this?
Just fun.
Fun.
Have a fun time building a bike.
Yeah. And the exposure in the Thunder Roads be pretty sweet too.
Yeah, no, that'll definitely be pretty cool. Actually getting to be, in a magazine, have people see the type of stuff I want to build. The actual competition of it, going up against other people, that also is definitely going to be fun.
Yeah.
So I got to check out, what people built last year. So I'm definitely excited to see what people are building this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you say what you were building? You said
I'm building an 85 Yamaha Virago.
Chain or shaft?
It's a shaft.
Are you planning on? I mean, you don't have to give away anything if you don't want to, but
so the basics of it will be, or should be, a rigid open shaft, kind of like a 70s chopper kind of bike.
gotcha.
So nothing too crazy, but something in that like rigid 70s chopper-ish feel.
Gotcha. So you said earlier that you got a wife and kid.
I do. Yeah, I have a wife and a stepdaughter.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that was part of what Derek wanted to highlight last year, was just that we're all average guys with, job, family, responsibility, and the difficulty of trying to build a bike while, still fulfilling your spousal and parental responsibilities.
No, absolutely. It's not easy, man.
Right.
I luck out. I'm already a motorcycle mechanic, so my schedule, my work schedule is Tuesday through Saturday. So I'm already allotted Mondays. My stepdaughter's in school. My wife goes to work. So I get Mondays that are pretty much just my time in the garage. So I'm very fortunate in that I get one day a week where I just get to kind of go do my own thing in the garage, unless of course my wife has something for me to do around the house. But yeah, it's very challenging to have a wife, have a kid, have a full-time job, have hobbies, still have to have time to go hang out with family and friends, and then also build bikes.
Right. So anything nervous about, worried about? You think you'll be able to complete your bike on time?
Yeah, I'm fairly confident I should be able to complete my bike on time. Whether that actually happens or not, we'll see, because like you said, and like I said, we still have families, we still have obligations in life, but I will give it my absolute best effort to make a running and riding bike so that I can ride from my house up to the show.
Yeah, I know last year we had a couple people drop out, but this year we're trying to make sure that we have enough people to cover, because last year there was only 4 of us. I think Derek wanted at least 6.
Yeah, so, there's 9 this year, right?
So far, yeah. I think we're still looking for a 10th, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to even be in it. I'm still going to come up, and I'm helping out Derek behind the scenes a little bit too.
Right on.
But yeah, so we got 9 right now, looking for a 10th, I think. So if you got any buddies that build bikes, or if anyone listening builds bikes, hit us up.
I might talk to my buddy, see if he'd be interested in it.
Yeah, the more the merrier. because we're probably gonna have some fall off.
Yeah, no, probably will. I mean, people have obligations in life still, so it's, they can't always do everything they want.
Right, shit happens.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Well, that's all I got for you. You do you have anything you want to plug? Your work? You got an Instagram, YouTube, anything like that?
I have YouTube. I very rarely kind of post on Instagram. It's more there for me to, check out motorcycles and stuff. But if people want to check it out, my stuff on there, it is Blank Metalworks with a Z. If you're in the area and you need motorcycle repair, obviously come on up to Full Throttle Motorsports in Diamonddale and we can get you taken care of.
Do they have an Instagram or anything?
They do. They have I think they have an Instagram. I know we have a Facebook page. So, I mean, you can find us on Facebook. Like I said, it's Full Throttle Motorsports. It's out of Diamonddale. So we pretty much service anything and everything. Vintage, modern, side-by-sides, ATVs. We do snowmobiles. We also do personal watercraft.
Damn. Just like pretty much do everything.
Pretty much, yeah. It's definitely been a fun place to work. I've enjoyed my time there so far.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, all right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on here and look forward to meeting you in person here in August.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I imagine between now and then we'll probably be doing something else with the whole build competition where we all meet up. So
yeah, I haven't heard anything from Derek yet. I know last year we did do an in-person meeting. I think it was in February.
Right
not 100% sure, but yeah, I'll let him handle all that stuff. That's his bag.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure he'll definitely keep us all in the loop about it. So it'll be fun to meet everybody if we do that. Otherwise, I mean, I'm looking forward to getting to see all the bikes that people build at the show.
Absolutely.
Should be a good time.
Yes, sir. So, all right, man. Well, thank you again.
Absolutely, man. You have a good one.
You too.
All right, bye.